Implementation of Strategic Resource Initiatives in Greenland by 2024, a detailed report. Introduction. In a significant move to enhance the economic landscape of Greenland, a strategic initiative aimed at implementing resource development projects has been proposed with a total investment of $1.8 billion earmarked for critical infrastructure development by 2024. This initiative is structured through 4 key phases, each designed to ensure the sustainable extraction of resources while fostering local community engagement and environmental stewardship. Key phases of implementation. Phase 1, Assessment and Planning 2022 to 2023. The first phase focuses on a comprehensive assessment of Greenland's resource potential, including mining and renewable energy opportunities. Stakeholder engagement. This phase involves extensive collaboration with local communities, government entities, and environmental organizations to ensure that the proposed projects align with both local needs and environmental standards. Environmental studies. Detailed environmental impact assessments (EIAs) will be conducted to identify potential risks associated with resource extraction, ensuring that any development meets strict ecological guidelines. Feasibility studies. Various studies will determine the viability of different resource projects, including minerals and rare earth elements crucial for modern technology and sustainable energy solutions. Phase 2, Infrastructure Development 2023 to 2024. Following the assessment, the focus shifts to constructing essential infrastructure critical for supporting resource extraction and transportation. Construction of roads and ports. Investments will be made in building and upgrading roads and ports, facilitating easier access to resource-rich areas. This infrastructure is not only vital for the export of resources but also for improving the living conditions of local populations. Energy facilities. Development of energy facilities, particularly those harnessing renewable sources, will be prioritized to meet the increased energy demands of mining operations while reducing the carbon footprint. Community benefits. Enhancements to infrastructure are expected to provide direct benefits to local communities, including improved transportation links, better access to markets, and increased job opportunities. Phase 3, Resource Extraction and Production 2024. With infrastructure in place, the third phase will involve the actual extraction of resources. Sustainable practices. The extraction processes will be guided by sustainable practices aimed at minimizing ecological disruption. Technologies that reduce waste and enhance efficiency will be prioritized. Economic opportunities. This phase is expected to create numerous job opportunities in the mining sector, boosting the local economy and providing training programs for residents to enhance their skill sets. Monitoring compliance. Ongoing monitoring will be implemented to ensure that extraction activities comply with environmental regulations and sustainability goals. Phase 4, Monitoring and Evaluation 2024 onwards. The final phase emphasizes the importance of continuous monitoring and evaluation of the initiatives. Impact assessment. A robust framework will be established to assess the environmental and socio-economic impacts of resource extraction initiatives. This includes regular reporting on ecological health and community well-being. Stakeholder feedback. Local communities will be engaged in providing feedback on the impact of resource initiatives, allowing for adjustments to be made based on real-time data and community needs. Long-term sustainability. The focus will be on creating a sustainable model for resource management that can be adapted and replicated in other regions, ensuring that Greenland can maintain its resources for future generations. Common key points across various sources. Significant investment. The $1.8 billion investment is seen as a pivotal step in modernizing Greenland's economy, transitioning from traditional livelihoods to a more diversified economic model. Infrastructure as a critical enabler. The emphasis on infrastructure development is universally recognized as essential not only for resource extraction but also for enhancing the quality of life for residents. Community engagement. There is a strong consensus on the necessity of involving local communities in the planning and implementation processes to foster support and ensure that development meets local needs. Differences between sources. While there is general agreement on the economic benefits of the proposed initiative, some sources express concerns regarding the potential environmental impacts of increased mining activities. Environmental concerns. Critics argue that without stringent regulations, the environmental degradation could outweigh the economic benefits. Advocating for a more cautious approach to resource management. Regulatory approaches. Opinions vary on the balance between economic growth and environmental protection, with some suggesting a more hands-on regulatory approach while others support less interference to promote rapid development. Timeline of events. 2022, the assessment phase is initiated, involving stakeholder consultations and environmental studies aimed at identifying viable resource projects. 2023, project plans are finalized and the construction of essential infrastructure begins, including roads, ports, and energy facilities. 2024, resource extraction operations are launched, supported by established monitoring systems to evaluate the initiative's impacts continually. Conclusion. The implementation of strategic resource initiatives in Greenland represents a comprehensive approach to harnessing the region's natural resources responsibly and sustainably. By focusing on infrastructure development, community engagement, and rigorous environmental standards, this initiative positions Greenland to emerge as a significant player in the global resource market while prioritizing the welfare of its residents and the preservation of its unique environment. The structured phases of assessment, development, extraction, and evaluation reflect a commitment to sustainable growth that can serve as a model for other regions pursuing similar objectives. The proposed strategic resource initiatives in Greenland by 2024, with a substantial $1.8 billion investment aimed at infrastructure development, presents several counterintuitive insights that merit discussion. Counterintuitive insights. 1. Economic growth versus environmental stewardship. At first glance, the initiative appears to prioritize economic growth through resource extraction, which typically raises concerns about environmental degradation. However, the emphasis on environmentally sustainable practices during resource extraction suggests a potential paradox. One might assume that economic development necessitates environmental compromise. Yet this initiative posits that careful planning and sustainable practices can lead to both economic and environmental benefits. This dual focus challenges the conventional trade-off narrative, suggesting that it is possible to pursue ambitious economic goals while also adhering to strict environmental regulations. 2. Community engagement as a catalyst for growth. The initiative underscores the importance of stakeholder engagement, particularly with local communities, as a vital component of its success. This might seem counterintuitive, since many resource extraction projects historically face opposition from local populations due to fears of exploitation and environmental harm. However, this initiative acknowledges that involving local communities in the planning process can foster support and collaboration, ultimately leading to a more sustainable and accepted approach to resource management. This approach contradicts the typical adversarial relationship between corporations and local communities, proposing instead that mutual interests can align when communities are given a voice. 3. Infrastructure development as a broader benefit. The focus on building infrastructure such as roads and ports primarily to facilitate resource extraction might lead one to assume that the benefits are limited to the mining sector. Surprisingly, the initiative also aims to improve access for local populations, suggesting that infrastructure development can have wider socio-economic benefits beyond resource extraction. This perspective challenges the notion that infrastructure projects are solely tools for corporate gain, presenting them instead as means to enhance local livelihoods, access to services, and overall quality of life. 4. Long-term monitoring is integral to success. The final phase of the initiative emphasizes monitoring and evaluation, which might seem like an afterthought or a bureaucratic requirement. However, It is positioned as a critical element of the overall strategy. This proactive approach to assessing environmental and socio-economic impacts challenges the common perception that monitoring is merely a compliance measure. Instead, it is framed as an essential practice that informs ongoing project adjustments, thereby enhancing both sustainability and community trust. This perspective reframes monitoring as a dynamic integral process rather than a static obligation. 5. Investment in resource-rich regions contrary to economic trends. The decision to invest heavily in Greenland, a region often perceived as remote and underdeveloped, defies the trend of concentrating investments in more economically stable regions. This counterintuitive choice signals a belief in the untapped potential of Greenland's resources and an understanding of global market shifts. Where resource scarcity in other parts of the world may increase the value of Greenland's mineral and energy resources. The initiative suggests that investing in less conventional areas may yield high returns, challenging the belief that only established economies are viable for significant investments. 6. Balancing economic disparities with resource initiatives. While many resource extraction initiatives have historically exacerbated economic inequalities, this plan aims to address socio-economic disparities through local engagement and infrastructure improvements. It counters the assumption that resource wealth inevitably leads to inequality. Instead, it posits that well-structured initiatives can create shared benefits and equitable growth, challenging the zero-sum mindset often associated with resource exploitation. Conclusion. The strategic resource initiatives in Greenland by 2024 illustrate a multifaceted approach that defies conventional wisdom about economic development, environmental stewardship, and community engagement. By positioning sustainability as integral to economic growth, emphasizing the importance of local communities, and framing infrastructure development as a broader societal benefit, the initiative presents a counterintuitive model for how resource-rich regions can navigate the complexities of modern resource management. Through these insights, the project not only aims to enhance Greenland's economic landscape but also sets a potential precedent for responsible resource initiatives worldwide. The report on the implementation of strategic resource initiatives in Greenland by 2024 outlines a structured approach to harness the region's resources, supported by a substantial $1.8 billion investment aimed at infrastructure development. While the main components of this initiative are readily apparent, certain critical aspects may be overlooked by the general reader. Here are the significant elements that deserve further attention. 1. Comprehensive stakeholder engagement. Significance. The emphasis on collaboration with local communities is crucial. This is not merely a procedural step but a fundamental aspect that can determine the success or failure of the initiatives. Engaging local stakeholders helps to build trust, address concerns about environmental impacts, and ensure that the benefits of resource extraction are shared with the communities most affected. Overlooked aspect. Many might dismiss stakeholder engagement as a formality. However, the effectiveness of the entire initiative hinges on genuine participation and dialogue with indigenous communities. Ignoring local voices can lead to backlash, protests, and project delays, ultimately jeopardizing investment and economic goals. 2. Environmental sustainability focus. Significance. The report mentions a commitment to environmentally sustainable practices during resource extraction, which is critical given the fragile Arctic environment. The approach aims to minimize ecological damage while maximizing economic output, reflecting a shift towards responsible resource management. Overlooked aspect. The challenge of maintaining sustainability in the face of economic pressures is often underestimated. Potential investors and policymakers may overlook the complexity of balancing immediate economic gains against long-term environmental consequences. Failure to adhere to sustainability practices could lead to irreversible damage, which would not only harm the ecosystem but also tarnish Greenland's reputation as a responsible resource manager. 3. Monitoring and evaluation systems. Significance. The establishment of monitoring systems post-implementation is a vital aspect that ensures transparency and accountability. Continuous evaluation of both environmental and socio-economic impacts allows for adaptive management of the initiatives. Overlooked aspect: readers might not recognize the importance of robust monitoring frameworks. Without effective monitoring, there is a risk of neglecting adverse effects on the environment or local communities. Moreover, ongoing evaluations can help in adjusting strategies to improve outcomes, which is often neglected in the planning of resource initiatives. 4. Economic diversification potential. Significance: while the focus is primarily on resource extraction, the infrastructure developments can catalyze broader economic diversification in Greenland. Improved transportation and energy facilities can enhance access to other economic activities, including tourism, fishing, and renewable energy ventures. Overlooked aspect: the potential for economic diversification is frequently overshadowed by discussions focused solely on mining and resource extraction. This broader perspective is crucial as it highlights that investing in infrastructure can yield multiple benefits for the economy, reducing dependence on single industries and fostering resilience against market fluctuations. 5. Cultural and social impacts. Significance: the socio-cultural implications of resource initiatives are profound. The influx of investment and development can alter the social fabric of local communities, impacting traditional lifestyles and cultural practices. Overlooked aspect: many reports may understate the socio-cultural impacts, focusing primarily on economic metrics. Understanding these dynamics is essential for ensuring that development respects cultural heritage, which is vital for the identity and cohesion of indigenous communities. 6. Regulatory framework and governance. Significance: the success of these initiatives depends not only on investment in planning but also on a robust regulatory framework that governs resource extraction and environmental protection. Clear governance structures can help mitigate conflicts and ensure compliance with both local and international standards. Overlooked aspect: some stakeholders may overlook the importance of regulatory clarity and enforcement. Without a strong governance framework, projects may face legal challenges, operational inefficiencies, and reputational risks which could undermine the overall initiative. 7. Global resource market context. Significance: Greenland's resource initiatives must be understood within the context of global demand for minerals and rare earth elements. As renewable energy technologies and electronic devices proliferate, the need for these resources is expected to rise, positioning Greenland as a key player in this market. Overlooked aspect: the interconnectedness of global supply chains and geopolitical considerations are often not fully explored. Strategic resource initiatives in Greenland could be influenced by international market trends, trade policies, and the actions of competing nations, which may affect investment stability and market prices. In conclusion, while the report outlines a comprehensive plan for resource development in Greenland, several nuanced aspects warrant closer examination. Recognizing the importance of stakeholder engagement, environmental sustainability monitoring systems, economic diversification, socio-cultural impacts, regulatory frameworks, and the global context is crucial for understanding the broader implications of these initiatives. Failing to acknowledge these elements can lead to a superficial understanding of the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead for Greenland as it seeks to navigate its resource-rich future. 1. Significant investment in infrastructure. The proposed $1.8 billion investment is a transformative step for Greenland's economy, focusing on the development of essential infrastructure such as roads, ports, and energy facilities. This infrastructure is critical not only for resource extraction but also for improving access for local communities, enhancing their connectivity and economic opportunities. 2. Phased implementation approach. The initiative is structured into 4 distinct phases: assessment and planning, infrastructure development, resource extraction and production, and monitoring and evaluation. This phased approach allows for careful planning, execution, and adjustment based on ongoing evaluations.
ensuring that the initiatives can adapt to real-time socio-economic and environmental feedback.
3. Emphasis on sustainability and local engagement. The initiative prioritizes environmentally sustainable practices in resource extraction while actively engaging local communities throughout the planning and implementation phases. This focus aims to align economic growth with environmental stewardship and community welfare, addressing potential socioeconomic disparities and ensuring that local voices are heard. 4. Balancing economic growth with environmental stewardship. While the economic benefits of resource initiatives are highlighted, there is also recognition of the potential environmental concerns associated with increased mining activities. The initiative proposes strict monitoring and evaluation mechanisms to assess the impacts of resource extraction, aiming to balance economic development with ecological sustainability and regulatory compliance. 1. The Alaska Native Claims Settlement Act ANCSA of 1971. This landmark legislation settled land claims for Alaska Natives and aimed to promote economic development in the region. The act led to the establishment of Native corporations and facilitated significant investments in infrastructure, resource extraction, and sustainable development. The $1 billion settlement included cash payments and the allocation of over 44 million acres of land to Native corporations, which has since supported various resource initiatives including oil and gas exploration. 2. The development of the Canadian oil sands. Starting in the late 20th century, Canada invested heavily in the development of its oil sands, particularly in Alberta. This involved extensive infrastructure development, including roads, pipelines, and processing facilities amounting to billions of dollars. The initiative aimed to leverage vast natural resources, leading to increased economic growth while also facing substantial environmental scrutiny. The balance between resource extraction and sustainable practices continues to be a significant aspect of the oil sands discourse. 3. The Congo Basin Forest Partnership (CBFP), launched in 2002. This initiative focused on sustainable resource management and the protection of the Congo Basin's vast rainforest, which is crucial for biodiversity and climate regulation. The partnership involves multiple stakeholders, including governments, NGOs, and local communities, working together to develop sustainable practices that promote resource extraction while minimizing environmental impacts. The CBFP emphasizes the importance of local engagement and sustainable development, mirroring the stakeholder-focused approach proposed in Greenland's strategic resource initiatives. Future outlook: predictions for strategic resource initiatives in Greenland by 2024. The strategic resource initiatives in Greenland, backed by a substantial $1.8 billion investment, are poised to reshape the region's economic landscape significantly. As the 4 key phases of implementation unfold, several predictions can be made about their potential impacts and outcomes by 2024 and beyond. 1. Economic growth and development. Prediction: by 2024, Greenland will experience a marked increase in economic activity driven by the resource initiatives. The construction of vital infrastructure, including roads, ports, and energy facilities, is expected to generate jobs and stimulate local economies. Increased employment opportunities will not only benefit those directly involved in resource extraction but will also create ancillary jobs in sectors like services, trade, and tourism. The influx of investment and economic diversification may lead to a more resilient economy, reducing reliance on traditional sectors like fishing. 2. Sustainable resource management. Prediction: the adoption of environmentally sustainable practices will become a benchmark for resource extraction in Greenland. As the extraction of minerals and rare earth elements commences, there will be a strong emphasis on sustainable practices to mitigate ecological impacts. This includes using advanced technologies to minimize waste, implementing stringent environmental assessments, and engaging local communities in decision-making processes. By 2024, Greenland may set a precedent for responsible resource management, influencing global standards and practices in mining and energy sectors. 3. Enhanced infrastructure and connectivity.
Prediction: improved infrastructure will lead to greater connectivity within Greenland and with external markets.
The development of roads and ports will not only facilitate the logistics of resource extraction but will also improve access to remote communities. By 2024, increased connectivity may enhance trade opportunities, allowing for the export of resources to global markets while potentially boosting tourism as access to natural landscapes and cultural sites improves. This infrastructure can act as a catalyst for further investments in other sectors,
including renewable energy and technology.
4. Social dynamics and community engagement. Prediction: there will be a notable shift in social dynamics within Greenland driven by community engagement and potential disparities. As stakeholders engage with local communities throughout the project phases, there will be an increased focus on addressing socio-economic disparities. By 2024, initiatives aimed at empowering local populations, such as job training programs and local business support, will likely emerge, fostering a sense of ownership and participation in the development process. However, tensions may also arise if communities feel that benefits are not equitably distributed, leading to debates over resource allocation and usage.
5. Environmental challenges and regulatory landscape. Prediction: environmental challenges will influence the regulatory landscape and public perception of resource initiatives.
Despite the focus on sustainability, increased mining activities may lead to environmental concerns such as habitat disruption and pollution.
By 2024,
public sentiment may grow increasingly critical of resource extraction practices, prompting the government and stakeholders to adapt regulations to enhance environmental protections.
This evolving regulatory landscape could shape how future projects are approached, emphasizing the need for transparency and accountability.
6. Global positioning and geopolitical implications.
Prediction: Greenland's strategic resource initiatives will elevate its global positioning, impacting geopolitical dynamics in the Arctic region.
With increasing demand for minerals and rare earth elements, Greenland is poised to become a key player in the global resource market. By 2024, its initiatives may attract foreign investments and partnerships, particularly from countries seeking to secure resource supply chains. This could lead to geopolitical shifts as Arctic nations navigate the complexities of resource competition, environmental stewardship, and indigenous rights.
7. Technological innovations. Prediction: the drive for efficient and sustainable practices will lead to technological innovations in resource extraction and management. By 2024,
advancements in technology will likely play a critical role in optimizing resource extraction processes while minimizing environmental impacts. Innovations in renewable energy solutions, waste management, and data analytics for monitoring environmental conditions may emerge as key components of Greenland's strategy. This technological evolution can position the region as a leader in sustainable resource management practices.
Conclusion: the strategic resource initiatives in Greenland represent a transformative opportunity for the region.
By 2024, the successful implementation of these initiatives could lead to significant economic growth, enhanced infrastructure, and sustainable resource management practices. However, the balance between development, community engagement, and environmental stewardship will be crucial in shaping the future of Greenland's resource landscape. As these initiatives unfold, continuous monitoring and adaptive strategies will be essential to navigate the complexities and potential challenges that may arise.